Today I am with very beautiful and very successful Kamna Mataji, who's
Hare Krishna.
originally who is originally from India. Yes, you are,
Yes, Mataji, I'm from India.
and now she stays in U.S. Iowa, and then she is very successful in successfully turned her hobbies into a business. So devotee friendly business. She is feeding this prasadam so many people in the world, at least in U.S. So Mataji, can you please introduce yourself a little more?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, dear Matajis. I'm Sukamna Bhatnagar. Yeah, I'm a housewife. I have 2 kids, um, and I'm a home baker. I'm a cake artist. I take orders for cakes, and I do egg-free baking.
In the description of this video, I will have a contact of Mataji. Yes, if someone wants to order cakes, so they can. Can you tell a little bit about your now whatever service you are doing, like cake service? What you do basically? You wake up and then how many orders usually you get, and how do you do all these things?
So it actually started when we moved here. My daughter, my first child, she was just 7 months old. So when her first birthday was coming, I was just trying to find an eggless cake, and I had none here nearby. So I just planned to do it myself, and that's how it started as a hobby. And because I was at home, and she was small, she was not walking, and she was not that troublesome kid. So I was able to manage doing my hobby, fulfilling my hobbies at that time. So that's how it started, and yeah, and then I started buying stuff for whatever I needed for related to this, and I have like a full studio with a lot of stuff.
It's nice. How many years like passed? Like within how many years?
She's 5 years old now, so
Oh,
probably it's
yeah.
like 4 years back I started.
Uh-huh.
I was doing like how we beginners, we just start. So its first thing is the baking. So baking itself, getting the texture, the softness, the
Mm-hmm.
moistness. So it took me like almost maybe a couple years to fix that,
Mm-hmm.
trying a lot of different recipes, um, and tasting it. And we have a group of devotees here, so I used to take cakes for them for every devotee's birthday used to come in, and I would just make a cake for them. So that's how it started. Yeah.
Nice.
And today, now probably I think a couple years back I started taking the orders, and then initially it was like maybe 2-3 orders a month,
Oh,
and now yeah, and today it's like more than 40 cakes I do in a month.
oh,
And
that's great.
yeah, and that's I guess that's my limit. I Because I have to balance with the family, so I have to refuse many people that I won't be able to take their order.
Oh,
So if I have a helping hand, then probably I can do more than that. But for now, it's more than 40, almost 40 a month. I
oh.
have my studio set up in the basement. That's for the artwork that I do on the cakes. So
Uh-huh.
that's a separate section. Um, there's just a table and all my stuff there, which is needed for decorating the cakes. So baking is one thing, and then frosting, and then decorating. So it has different. Yeah, it's divided in different things.
But your painting skills are so good. Like you paint, I saw you painted Obama's wife, like on the cake. Did you paint it on the
No,
cake?
it's no, Mataji. It wasn't a painting. It's an edible print. So
Oh,
we have a separate printer for the edible prints, and it has different edible. It we have edible inks for that. So it's printed. It's like just like how we print a normal paper. So we take a print of whatever the client wants,
Oh,
and then
I've never heard of something like that. That you can buy a printer and then print on top of cake.
but it's not a normal printer that we have for general the printing that we do normally. It's not that. It's a different printer. It's totally for edible printing. And then we have the inks also, which are edible. So it has the food color basically in it,
Mm.
and that prints. And the sheets are again sugar sheets. They're not this paper. It's a sugar sheet that's eatable, edible.
Oh, I see, I see. But you also make some shapes on top of cakes. You know, some.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that's done with fondant. Fondant is again sugar dough.
Uh-huh.
So so that's an art that we have to
You make with your
it comes with practice. Yeah. So suppose I have to make a small baby elephant for the cake, for a baby shower cake.
uh-huh.
So I just make the shape. Uh, it's just like how you do clay modeling.
Clay modeling, yeah. DTs.
It's it's like it's something like that. So I just play with the the edible clay.
I see, I see. And how did you learn all these things?
So it started with hobby, Mataji, and I was just I took help from other devotees too. Govind Priya Mataji, she was the first one that I contacted when I wanted the first birthday cake for my daughter, and
Oh,
she helped me a lot. She's just a wonderful devotee. Every one of us know
can you
about.
tell what she told, like how she helped you?
So I asked her for a recipe,
Mm-hmm.
and she sent me a recipe. And she also gave me the details where I can find the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told her that I'm not able to find an eggless cake here in my area. And could you please guide me how to make my daughter's first birthday cake?
Uh-huh.
And she gave me all the details she could. So that's very sweet of her. That's how it started. I was not satisfied with the texture that I was getting initially, but it's just practice. The more you do, the more you improve. You will get to know where you are going wrong, if it's the temperature of the oven, or if it's your recipe, or if it's the time that you just delayed keeping it in the oven, or it's your pan. So there are a lot of things that come into picture when you start baking. So
Yeah. But earlier, were you like doing some artwork, like before doing cake artistry?
no, Madaji, I wasn't doing any cake. I mean, any artwork.
What's your typical routine, Mataji? Like if you have 4 orders, for example, for one day, so what is your cooking time and how do you, your kids are studying or something? What's your schedule?
Yeah, they keep playing Mataji. The younger one is just 2, so he doesn't study. My daughter, who's 5 years old, she sits for studying, but then he keeps coming and disturbing her, so she's distracted all the time.
Mm.
So it's my husband mostly who's taking care of her studies when I'm doing my job. So and yeah, I somehow balance in between. I'm doing like it's like I keep the cake for baking, and then I'm doing the other work, like cooking.
Uh-huh.
So we make dal, sabzi, rice, um, and when I don't have too many orders and my kids want to eat chapatis, I make chapatis. Sometimes I make like jackfruit biryani for them.
Oh,
That's very often I'm doing these days, because my husband really likes jackfruit sabzi, the curry, and jackfruit biryani. So it's once a week I'm doing that when I'm not too busy. But when weekends, it's generally busy with 4 5 orders or 8 orders. Then because he's not working on weekends, so that
uh-huh.
he helps me in cooking.
I see, I
So
see.
he takes care of the cooking so that I can keep doing my work. And
Yeah,
also, I went to India 2 years back, and I did my advanced wedding cakes course there. that helped me a lot actually for the art thing on the cake.
Oh, I see.
So yes, before that I was doing, but the neatness was missing. It was basically because I was not doing too many cakes at that time. Now it's like I've done hundreds of cakes now, so my hand is, it has got that finish we need for the.
What course you said in India? How many months you studied there?
I went for a month, but it was not for the whole month. It was just it was it was just for two whole days, like a few hours every day. So it was a advanced wedding cake course
I
where
see.
they where I learned how the wedding cakes are decorated. So it was like an advanced one, because a beginner level I was already doing the baking and the like a beginner stuff. It's simple that I had already practiced at home for 2 years, looking at the videos on YouTube or um, anything that I could um, I could ask some people. So whatever, from wherever I used to get some information how to do, I was just taking help that way. But later I thought I should learn it like a proper professional thing. So that helped me, and I learned a lot of things there. So, and also I guess it also depends upon your passion. That's something where that's really required in any field actually. So if you love your work, you will anyway do it, even if you have
Zero.
hurdles in your exactly. So because for me right now it's difficult, like people keep asking me how you do this, how can you do in a day, how can you do 8 cakes, 4 cakes, 5 cakes, and that too each cake is with so much details. It takes time, it takes hours to get those detailed work. Just to make one figurine, it sometimes take uh, 30-40 minutes for each figurine. And making like a fondant flower or like an edible flower like a rose, um, it needs time. So, and if there are a lot of roses on one cake, it's gonna take me whole night to make the roses.
Yeah.
um, so most of the times when I have a lot of decorating stuff to make, I prefer doing it in the night after my kids go to bed. That's when I go down in my basement in my studio, and I just love doing my work there. And somehow, even if I'm tired the whole day, uh, once I sit on my table, it's like my sleep is gone,
Oh,
and I'm just loving my work. Though it's not good for health, but I have been doing this some nights whenever I have the orders on my list. So
it's
that's how I.
it's like Arjuna, how he, because he loves that shooting arrows at night also, he conquered the sleep and then was shooting.
So
Nice.
that's something I always feel that, anything you want to do, if you really are passionate about doing something, you will somehow find time for it and do it if you're really passionate. So that passion is required for anything in any field. We need that. So that's how it started.
So sometimes I get questions like, Mataji, I'm sitting at home and I'm so much bored. Like, it's boring. Being housewife is so boring. Yeah. So sitting at home doesn't mean you just watch movies and these things, but do something creative. So along with all these things, you have a time for chanting and other spiritual things also.
Yeah, that's something we have to keep balancing. Right now, uh, I'm aspiring under Vishashika Prabhu, uh, but yeah, it's going slow because balancing everything is getting really difficult. But I do my reading, Srimad Bhagavatam reading every day, and chanting, uh, hearing lectures sometimes.
Those are the most important, no? Then you are saying
Yes.
balancing.
That's true, Mataji. We also have a 20 minutes class every day on phone, Srimad Bhagavatam. our Shiksha Guru every day. He does a phone class every day on Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are hearing that every day, and then I'm reading my Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam in the night after my kids sleep. That's a time when I can really concentrate actually, because they keep screaming the whole day and I can't concentrate. So I do that in the night, and yeah, chanting whenever I find time in between. I do my rounds.
What are your challenges, Mataji? Like when you started this cake business, do you have any challenges and how did you overcome those?
Yes, so the first challenge was doing the eggless cakes, and the like people here, everybody, people don't even know the concept of eggless. Actually, most of them, 90% of the population in the world, uh, probably have no idea that we can bake without eggs.
Yeah.
Uh, like here, I should say that Americans mostly, they they will be surprised if you say the cakes are eggless. So that was one challenge because I guess the texture of the cakes that has eggs in it is very it's nice, fluffier and lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And the eggless cakes, initially when I was baking, it used to be dense.
Oh.
So that was one challenge for me to fix the recipe to make it more fluffier, lighter in texture, so that there's hardly any difference felt.
I see.
So that was one challenge, and because we lack confidence initially, when you know that your whole recipe is going to be very different from what is sold outside, it's a big challenge to attract the people towards something which they have never unknown thing, and to make it so similar to what they eat was what I targeted for. And I used to bake so often, and the best thing was I had devotees here to taste it because I can't keep eating the whole cake by myself because I'm baking so frequently. If I eat so much cake, it's like, or I have to throw it, which is not good. So, but my devotee friends helped me, I should say, in helping me eat the cake. So now it's like there are few clients who sometimes if they want an eggless cake, they tell me, like my Indian clients who don't even know that I have no eggs in my cakes. So they just, uh, a few days back, there was one client who very frequently buys cakes from me. So she said, I need a cake, so and so cake this time, but it has to be eggless this time.
Oh.
I just gave a smile and said, okay, it will be eggless. So, so that's an achievement where people cannot even differentiate that they are eating a eggless cake.
Yeah.
So that was a big challenge initially. So now, and I wasn't that confident in selling my cakes initially. Now that I know people are not able to differentiate, and they're loving it more, because when they appreciate the taste, that's where I know that, you know, it's going good.
Yeah.
So that helps me, and actually main thing I guess is it's all Krishna's mercy. He is helping me do this. It's his prasadam, so it has to be tasty.
Yeah.
So he makes it tasty, I guess, for people to enjoy.
But when we see the photos of the cakes, and we will think that, oh, I'm also gonna make this and I wanna become a cake maker. But we don't know the challenge behind it. Like you so much went through, and then you had to do thousands of cakes in order to find the perfect recipe. So from this example, we learn that whatever you do, even if it's your passion, there will be challenges, isn't it? There will be difficulties.
Definitely, definitely, because you have the passion, but you don't have the experience.
True.
So
Yeah.
to gain that experience, you really need to put more and more time into it. And when you don't have time, you have a lot of other things going around. It's really difficult to squeeze that time out of your day to put into it. So I have spent like sleepless nights actually doing this to fix things. And once it's like, if I am not satisfied with my work, I redo it. So I need to spend more time then. So because if I'm not liking it, how will the client like it? That's what I feel, and I keep doing it until I'm satisfied sometimes.
Actually, when you were facing this kind of challenges, didn't you get distracted? Like, oh no, this is very difficult business. Let me do something else. Did you get kind of?
No, well, that's where it's that's where I can use the word passion. Because if you are passionate about something, you really want to fix it. Even if you have to do it 100 times, you will still try to fix it. You will not give it up. If it's your passion, you will never give it up. It was always, if I'm going wrong somewhere, my mind used to go more into it, more deeper, why and how I have to fix it.
Fix it.
How I have to fix it. What can I do? I keep trying, even if it is going to take me 10 times or 100 times. I keep doing it. And if I'm not able to figure out myself, then I try to take some help from
Advice.
others, from my teacher, from my baking teacher, my other friends who are into this. Yes,
So yeah,
Mataji.
that's another good example that if you are facing challenges, don't give up, but take advice from experienced people. That's a good thing. Take courses and learn and try more. And Mataji, the last question: can you please advise to Matajis like housewives how they can make their hobbies into a income giving like devotional uh, business.
Yes, Mataji. So since I have been married, I have stayed home all the time. Even when I was studying, it was from home, not in the school. So the it's very difficult when you're sitting all alone in the house for 8 hours when your husband is working outside, and if you have kids, they are going to school. You're all alone at home, so it's kind of boring for you, and you start feeling depressed. I know many Matajis, they just call me because they are feeling depressed. They just want to know what to do.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
can't go outside, and especially at this time of COVID, we can't even meet people.
Yeah.
So it's more depressing. It's getting really difficult for everybody. It's getting very tough. But for me, it was totally different. In fact, I have become more busy these days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that I just tell them, I advise them, just figure out what you love. If it's music, if it's cooking, if it's some craft work, it's some art. If there's a small artist in you, just paint some nice pictures of Krishna. Keep yourself engaged in some way, like, because when you're not a sincere devotee, you can't chant whole day.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I have figured out with many people, many Matajis who are just started in Krishna consciousness. So that takes some while to reach there, and meanwhile, it's really difficult for them. And taking care of kids again is,
You.
you have to do that, but you're not giving time to yourself.
Yeah,
You have to give time to yourself. You're giving time to the family, to the kids, to husband. You're cooking for them, you're taking care of the house, but we have to take care of ourselves too. So whatever makes you happy, at least try to give half an hour or 1 hour to yourself. Whatever you like. It could be dancing, it could be singing, it could be cooking, it could be making any craft or any art thing, painting, or whatever. Just try to figure out what you like, what you love. Just do that for half an hour every day, or at least how much ever time you can spare. So try doing that. Even if you're really passionate about something, you will even sit with it in the night after everything is done. But please do that, because that will give you a lot of satisfaction. It will give you confidence. The main thing what most of the housewives lack is confidence. We just feel that we are weak, we cannot do anything.
Yeah, sitting at home.
Exactly, but we are actually doing a lot of things. It's not easy to be a homemaker. It is not at all. Taking care of kids, changing diapers, cooking for them. They don't like one thing, and then you have to cook again for them. Something else, you have to think what you have to cook for them. Keeping the house clean, giving them bath, everything, making them go to bed. These are all works which are not counted most of the times. But don't ever feel that these are small things that we are doing. These are really, really, it matters. It's your kids' life. Your they are into making. You are into making their good life.
Yeah.
So this is big responsibility. But apart from this, you need to relax. You really need to give time to yourself. So just do what you like, and that once you start doing that, slowly, the mentally your all these things will just go off. You will not feel that life is boring, or life is there's nothing in this life. What to do? We are not able to do anything at home.
This was a really nice session, Mataji, and I'm sure it will be definitely helpful to many, many girls and Matajis who are really feeling depressed at home, not knowing what to do in life. So what you said is really makes sense. Find something you love and spend time for that. Spend time for yourself a little bit, at least in a day. So Mataji, thank you so much. And
thank you so much, Mataji.
I'll just tell that in the description of this video, Krishna Wills I edited, there will be a link to the Mataji's website so that she'll get more orders. Hopefully after COVID, you will open a studio, or when your kids grow up, then it will be easier for you. So,
yes, Mataji, please pray that I find some nice devotee helping hands to help me in this mission. Somehow Krishna's mercy has to keep flowing through cakes or through anything. It has to keep flowing.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes, you are already doing so much that fulfilling the lack in devotional community, that by just seeing your cakes, devotees shower their blessings. So I don't have blessings kind of, but I wish that you become very successful.
No, Mataji, it's very, very important. Thank you so much. And I hope to keep doing this, Mataji. And thank you so much, Mataji, for giving me the interview.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.